Hello again. I am back for a new what if. This what if is going to be called What If Deku had infinity quirks. Okay, hold on. Quickly zoom in on that for about a minute, trying to give credit. And before I talk again, can we just admire our work on this? Ready. Now, how Deku's gonna get infinity quirks is that he's gonna have a quirk that is going to be named Endless Imagination. So, I'm gonna give an example how it's going to work. Alright, let's say, I'm not gonna put this in the weather story. Let's say that it would be a raining day and Deku would be staring out of the window. And so let's say that he would wish, or he would just wish that he had a quirk to control the weather. And then he would have a quirk that would control the weather. That would how his quirk would work. Now I know I'm better at explaining. Really bad at explaining. So that's how basically his quirk will work. Now then, I guess I'll be starting to sort it off when Deku's getting born. Okay. Now then, Deku's gonna be looking like this, obviously. In case you can tell, Deku's gonna be looking like that. Okay. Let's see. Oh wait, by the way, there's gonna be a new character that I'll be adding to the what if. I'll be adding her. Okay, hold on, let me quickly think of a quirk and a name. Okay, I can't really think of names for her. Alrighty. Alright, just thought of a name. Her name is gonna be Cynthia. Okay. Now I wanna give some backstory about Cynthia. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Cynthia's mom had a very hard, birth. As Cynthia's dad left as soon as he found out that Cynthia's mother was pregnant. And Cynthia had a very hard birth, which caused her to die in the process. And I just forgot to make the character's name. Why do I keep on forgetting names? And Cynthia. And so they put so I wanted to say that Inko and Cynthia's mom were right next to each other. The rooms were right next to each other. So they had conversations between there. And Cynthia's mom knew that she was gonna have a very hard labor since she was kind of keeping a secret from the doctors. So she told Inko, and then if something were to happen to Cynthia's mother, she asked Inko to hold on, basically adopt Cynthia. So Inko said yes, obviously, because Inko's very nice. Excuse me. Okay, now I got rid of Cynthia's backstory. Okay, now let's start off with Deku. No, Deku. Where should I start this? I guess we'll start this at 2. When Deku is 2 and Cynthia is 2. They're both the same ages. Same birthdays. Alrighty. So Deku is just in their apartment. Not Deku. Excuse me. It's very early. So Deku and Cynthia are just watching TV. They're 10 years old. Deku, I'll just call him Izuku, because I'll probably get him mispronounced Deku. Izuku is just thinking to himself in his mind, wishing that he could talk and talk like if he was 3. So he gained the ability to talk. Perfect speech. We'll call that quirk. Perfect speech. And I'm gonna say that his perfect speech makes his voice sound so, I don't know, majestic. Is that the word that I should use? I don't know, but it makes people want to like serve under him, like apprentice, or like, you know what I mean. I guess you kind of know what I mean. Or they could think of him as like a leader with his soothing voice of the ear. Perfect speech, the quote is called. And let's say that Deku, there's someone in Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay. Also, if you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, there's someone with is it a curse technique? No, I don't like. They can basically use their voice as like a command. So let's say that Deku wanted someone to stop their movement. They would stop. Deku just said easily just stop. If he used perfect speech. Ready? So Deku obviously learned how to do perfect speech. He did. And I'm gonna say that Deku learned already how to walk. So that's something. So Deku just went up to his mom and said, excuse me? As Inko just kind of just jumps up as she's in shock that Deku can already learn how to speak. As Inko just says, Izu? No, Izu is going to be Izuku's nickname. You couldn't tell. And Izuku just kind of like gets a little nervous. And Inko just picks him up and starts like, Inko picks him up under his armpits and just like starts putting up in the air. As Inko says, yes! Whereas, hold on. I need to go off speech real fast. Sorry. As Inko just says, you can talk! In a happy tone. As Deku... Okay, I'm just gonna be switching between Izuku and Deku. Sorry if it gets annoying. As Izuku just... What is it? Izuku just says, can you put me down, please? As Inko just says, oh yes, sorry. Now, Inko just gonna get used to Deku talking. And when it's finally their birthday, Cynthia, no, they're all 3. Cynthia, what is it? Cynthia, is 3. They're both 3. So Cynthia already knows how to talk. Okay, hold on. Alrighty. Okay, now we're gonna go on until they're 4. We're gonna do 1 year time skip. They're 4 years old. They're in preschool, and they're gonna go get their quirks exam. So first is Cynthia, and Deku is just with Cynthia. Now, as a doctor, Cynthia's obviously gonna have a quirk. So how Cynthia's quirk is gonna work is that it's gonna kind of be like Momo's quirk. How she uses her fat to create basically almost anything. So Cynthia's quirk is gonna be working like that. Except it's gonna be for guns. So she can use her fat to make guns, as well as ammo. That would be her quirk. What she give her quirk name? Gun Curator. That's the first one that came to mind. Gun Curator. That's what will be her quirk name. And finally, it's time for Izuku. Izuku to examine. Okay, so they did examine him, and well, they told Inko about it, as Deku is just in another room. And so they really just keep it on the low down about Deku's quirk. They call it like, what should I have the doctors call it? I'll probably edit all of this out. Probably will edit all of this. So they called Deku's quirk, what should they call it? I guess they call it curation of mind. So how they think that Deku's quirk is going to work is that once every decade, Deku can imagine some type of he can imagine a quirk or something that it needs to do. Let's say that Deku demonstration. Let's say that Deku needs to get something that is high up. So Deku, when he was maybe 14, since it has been a decade, he would imagine himself getting taller. So he would get taller, and he would be able to control his size. That's how the doctors think his quirk will work. I mean, they ain't wrong. It's just that he can do it any time. So yeah, but Deku calls it infinite imagination. Okay, then therefore, we're gonna do a too loud. Okay, we're gonna do 5-year time skip. Deku and Cynthia. Oh my gosh, I forget these names way too fast. Cynthia are in 4th grade now. I'm gonna say that Cynthia is smarter than Deku for now. So Cynthia is very high intelligence, and so she got accepted into some type of private school. And so Inko didn't really have to pay anything since Cynthia is a really high intelligent. So they just paid Inko to switch schools. So Deku is just at his own. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say that Deku is just in his classroom. Deku is just he's at his desk, his head is down. Deku is gonna be in his head. Deku is going to say, hold on. Deku is going to say, wish there was a way that I can contact her. Like how psychics do. Psychics. Oh my. Psychics do. Telekinesis. or something like that. Now, as Deku accidentally creates his quirk, his infinite imagination quirk, and so he just got a psychic quirk. So he can basically levitate stuff, float himself, and do like awesome type of other stuff. It's basically a wizard. He can teleport objects, he can move objects with his mind, and you get the gist of it. Alrighty. So Deku's just trying to like think of Cynthia. As Deku just tries to contact Cynthia with mind. So I'm going to say that Cynthia is just listening to the teacher's directions as they're doing some type of quiz. As Cynthia hears in his mind, Cynthia? As she recognizes the voice and tone, she jumps out of her chair and says, "Izuku?" And everyone is just, she jumps out of that in loud tone, as everyone is just looking at her. As the teacher says, "Miss Cynthia, report to the principal's office." Sorry. And Cynthia's like, yes, sir. As Cynthia is just walking down to the hallway to the principal's office, Cynthia in her mind says, "Dang it, Deku." No, dang it, Izuku. And Izuku hears that through into his mind. And so Deku thinks in his mind, you basically get the gist of it, alright? You know. I shouldn't be saying mind all the way. They're just having a conversation through their minds. So all the words that I'm going to say are going to be the conversations in their mind. Honey, so Cynthia is just going to say, dang it, Deku. Deku is always going to respond with what? And Cynthia just says, "Get out of my head." Deku just says, "Geez, fine, you don't have to have an attitude." So he just gets out of Cynthia's head. And well, Inko gets a call from the school. And so Inko just calls the school that Deku's at, so Deku can come along. So Izuku just sees his mom waiting in the car, so Deku just gets in his car. And Deku says, "Why did you pick me up from school?" Hold on. And let me see. Hold on. I'm sorry, I had it on. Okay, so Deku just hops in the car and says, "Why did you pick me up after school? Why did you pick me up, Mom?" As Inko just says, "I got a call from Cynthia's school, so we're gonna go over there." So they go to the school, they're having a conversation with the principal. Inko's having the conversation with the principal. Cynthia is just looking at Izuku. Izuku is just trying his best to ignore her. As Deku just used telekinesis again. Or wait, hold on, am I even saying the right name for it? Honestly, I don't even know. Okay. Some of y'all get offended by that, then Sorry. As Deku just tries going back into Cynthia's head, Deku just says, Cynthia. And she hears it, and Cynthia was looking at Deku, and she didn't see Deku's mouth move at all. So she thinks that Deku's talking to her in her mind. So Cynthia just says, "What is it?" As Deku just says, never mind. Just wanted to see my powers still work. As Cynthia says, "Don't be using me as a guinea pig or for some type of test for your powers." And Deku just says, yeah, sorry. With that. Not sure how long I want to make this one. Honestly, since this probably gets uploaded, I'll probably be already doing a part 2. Okay. So as they just go, Principal is done talking to Inko. They just go back to the house. Inko just says, "Izuku." Oh wait, yeah. Izuku, Cynthia, I'll be gone for a little bit. I had to do extra shifts for work. Okay. Not even gonna say what type of work. She just goes off to work. Don't say that she works at some type of office. So they all say bye. As Deku just says bye, Mom. And Cynthia just says bye, Mrs. Midoriya. So now, okay. So I'm gonna have to make you imagine something. So imagine this Deku. Imagine wearing his outfit. No headphones. So imagine wearing this type of outfit and him sitting on the couch and Cynthia sitting on the couch next to him. And I want to say that there's some type of old cloth that just making that ticking noise. I need you to imagine the ticking noise. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And Deku just says, Deku just sighs and says, things just got awkward. Deku just stands up and starts putting on his shoes. And Cynthia just says, where do you think you're going? Deku just looks at her and says, to the library. Cynthia just says, I don't know, she just sighs and says, be back home soon. Deku just, alright, bye, and just closes the door. So Deku just starts walking. As Deku is walking, he sees like some type of villain fight going on. Okay. So Deku just sees some type of villain fight going on. So Deku just stays in to watch it. It's Mount Lady fighting a villain that basically has the same quirk as her, as Mount Lady. And Deku just watching that and says, can it just end already? As they keep on fighting, Deku just gets paranoid of waiting because they're blocking the street. And Deku tried taking another route, it would just take way too long. So Deku just uses infinite imagination. Or no, not infinite imagination. You can call it infinite, endless. Just gotta put that Just gotta put endless, infinity, anything, and just gotta put that imagination at the end. Endless imagination, anything. Infinity imagination, whatever. Whatever sits for you, honestly. So Deku just uses his infinite imagination. He activates his quirks. What should I? Okay. So I'm gonna say that Deku is always still into the hero stuff, but he's not really that big of a nerd about it. So as Deku is just trying to think of a way to end this, in his head, Aizawa just kind of pops up with this quirk, since his hero name is called Eraserhead, and Deku just thinks how his quirk works. So Deku just gets Aizawa's quirk. Honestly, I forgot what his quirk's name. We'll just call it Erase. Then Deku is just thinking about being able to copy someone's quirk by just a single touch of contact with them, or just touching them, and being able to copy their quirk. So Deku just creates that quirk, and we'll call it Copy Touch. And you can basically know by the name and how it works. So I should probably start naming some of the quirks that it has. Endless imagination, infinity imagination, whatever you want to call it. Erase. What was it again? Oh dear. What was it? Perfect tone? Perfect voice? Yeah, perfect tone, whatever voice. I need to start recognizing these names. Oh boy. And he also has, let's see. Perfect speech. Yeah, perfect speech it was. And then, yeah, it's perfect speech. I called it perfect speech. And copy touch. And psychic powers. So he currently has 5 quirks. I mean, with his 5 quirks, he's pretty much overpowered. Alright, now then. As Deku just thinks of being able to do magic and stuff, Deku just starts making a magic quirk. And he would think of it, and the quirk that would be called magic is going to be magic circles. That is his 6th quirk. So Deku just uses his psychic powers to teleport on top of a building. And so Deku just uses some magic. His obviously if it's magic quirk, magic circle, and he kind of makes alright, I want you to take your right hand and make a little gun with your thumb and anything. You know just how to make a regular gun with your hand. And that's what Deku's doing. And and Deku just has a magic circle at the end of the gun. Wait, hold on. I need to think. Okay. So let's say that Deku just has his hand out, and a magic circle just appears in front of it. As Deku just says time backwards. As Deku just starts he aims for the villain, the Mount Lady is currently fighting, and reduces his time all the way until he's a baby. So I want you to imagine Deku on top of a building, and Deku just seeing Mount Lady and some type of giant villain finding each other, and Deku has his hand out in a magic circle, and you see the villain glowing up, and you just see him go all the way down to a baby. Deku just teleports away. Then Deku just says, glad that's over. So Deku just says, I'm already exhausted. I used way too much power. I'm exhausted. By the way, I should probably mention this. That way I don't make Deku a little too overpowered. So Deku just says, what a waste of time. And so he just teleports back home. Deku was just inside of his room. I'm gonna say that Cynthia is just watching TV about some hero news. As she hears about a villain shrieking into a baby. She thinks the only person that could probably do that is Izuku. Since Izuku kind of told Cynthia about his quirk and how it basically works. Cynthia just barges into Deku's room and says Izuku. As Deku is just like in his chair and looking at the computer, Deku just turns and says, what? And then Cynthia just says, nothing, never mind. And Deku just says, alright. Then, Oh wait, I forgot to include something that is very crucial. Okay, so everything basically goes like canon. And for the first time we're gonna see Bakugo. Bakugo is gonna be, I'm gonna say that the first time that Deku meets Bakugo is gonna be in 8th grade. Now Cynthia still goes into private schools and stuff. Now, not even gonna try it. I'm not. Okay, all I'm gonna say is just if you know what incest is, then. If you know what incest is, then. Okay, if you know what incest is, then. Yeah. But if you don't know, then I ain't gonna explain it for the young viewers. Ready? Alrighty. Honestly, the ship's probably gonna be, alright, not sure if people will probably. Okay. I'm just gonna, so, I'm probably gonna make, Deku and Cynthia, the ship. Got that out of the way? No, again, if you know what incest is, then, yeah. But they're not really related by blood. Hold on. I'm gonna try making this not try to be as much as incest. Alright, so I'm gonna change something real fast. So Inko didn't really adopt Cynthia, more like took her in. How long have I been recording for? That's something I mean, probably about 20 minutes now. 30. Alright. So we're gonna skip into 8th grade. Bakugo is just picking on this one kid. So obviously Deku just steps in and says, what are you doing, Bakugo? Deku is not gonna call Bakugo Kachan. As Bakugo says, what do you want? Deku just says, I don't want anything from you. I just want to, well, I do want to know something. Why are you bullying on this kid? Kachan just says, I do whatever I want. So, buzz off, nerd. So Deku just uses his quirk. Which one should I have him? Okay. So Deku just uses his perfect speech. Deku just says, "Get on your knees," and Bakugo just instantly gets on his knees, and Bakugo's lackeys are just saying, "Bakugo, what are you doing?" As Bakugo just says, "I don't know." As Deku just says, "Run away," and they do that, and Deku just leaves as well. As the kid getting bullied just says, "Excuse me, thank you." As Izuku just raises his hand up in the air. Now then, I wanted to say that somewhere as they're about to leave, Kachan, or no, Bakugo. Not going to call you. Not going to call Bakugo Kachan, even though it's stuck in my head too much. Alright, Bakugo just tells Izuku to meet him after school into this dark alleyway. What does he do? Bakugo just tries throwing an explosion. Oh no, hold on. So, Bakugo told Izuku to meet him in this back alleyway behind this arcade, okay? Arcade. So, Izuku agrees. Izuku is walking to the alleyway behind the arcade. Izuku is just thinking, this is probably a setup. Probably gonna get gained on. Anyways, I should probably think of a quirk that I can use. Okay. As Deku just thinks of his mind that activate endless imagination, he's thinking of Night Eye and how his quirk foresight. So he does. So he gets foresight. And then Deku is just thinking of how be able to tell what's gonna come up. Like basically reading the future. And sensing anything from like a mile away. Or anything that's happening in the universe and the galaxy. So Deku just gets it and he calls it Master Sensory. And by now Deku probably has like about 8 quirks. So Deku just uses that. So then we do about 5-minute time skip. Bakugo is running up to Deku about to throw an explosion. But then that's when Deku... Alright, so Bakugo is about running up to Deku. Then Deku just, he senses that Bakugo is going to use his quirk. So Deku just kind of moves his head to, the side. As Bakugo's explosion still kind of, touches and scratches Izuku's cheek. Now then, I need you to imagine something. Imagine Bakugo just scratching or using the explosion to scratch Deku's cheek. Now then, imagine Deku kind of dodging it and then using magic circles. Then he just says, "Time stop." And so time just stops. As Deku is just thinking of a way. Excuse me. As Deku is just thinking of a way that he can leave. Deku just says, "Alright, I guess I'll just teleport out of here." So Deku just does. As he unstops time, Bakugo just falls on the floor. Face first. Now then, as Izuku's just walking back, the slime villain appears. The slime villain just says, "Give me your body." And Deku just teleports right behind the slime villain. Now then, as Deku is about to use his quirk, As Deku's about to use time stop, or no, as a Deku, as Deku is about to use perfect speech, All Might just comes in. All Might says, "I am here," like usual. No, Deku just hears that I am here. And All Might, what he says. And so, Deku just uses erase instead of perfect speech. And so erases the slime. Oh, what is it? So Deku uses erase on the slime villain, making him back into a human. Now, as okay, hold on. I'm going to. Okay. So, as Deku is in his mind, Deku no, All Might is walking up to Deku, as Deku just thinks of a quirk, and so that activates his endless imagination, like always. And so Deku just gets the quirk of of more experience. So Deku, like every single time that Deku would use one of his quirks, the quirk will evolve into like a more higher rate or a higher form, more higher level. And so demonstration like erase, how it can temporarily erases someone's quirk. Deku keeps on using erase. He can probably erase the quirk for maybe about a decade. And yeah. So, as All Might just says, "Hey kid," and Deku says, "Yes, sir." As the slime villain just seemed to be knocked out. Yeah, we'll say that the slime villain's knocked out. And as I'm going to say that All Might just gets on his knees and says, Would you inherit my quirk?" As Deku just uses copy touch, and Deku just touches All Might's shoulder and says, "I am very sorry, but I cannot accept the quirk. There must be someone else that is more worthy than me." As All Might just tries understanding where Deku's coming from. As All Might just says, "Very well then." Now remember that Deku has copied touch, so Deku just basically copied One for All. So yeah. So he's Black Whip, Fajin, Smokescreen. Oh wait. Manga spoilers. Oh. Alright, yeah. Alrighty. Before I speak more, before I say anything else, I will probably say this. There might be some manga spoilers. So if you haven't read the latest chapter, I need you to quickly just maybe skip. Or, yeah, I'm just gonna say that there's might be manga spoilers. Or just manga spoilers for One for All. And how the quirk works and some of the quirks that it collects. Alright, I gave you a warning. Okay, so Deku has Black Whip, Fajin, Smokescreen, and what was that quirk called again? Sensory? Well, Deku doesn't really need that quirk since he already has a quirk like that. Well, yeah. It just works like that. Okay. As Deku just walks back home and says, "I'm home," Cynthia just runs out to Deku and says, "Where were you?" Right now. As Cynthia's just on the couch saying, "Alright." And now Cynthia just says, welcome back. As Deku just says, thanks. Deku just opens the fridge and grabs, what does he grab? A water bottle. Just water. And just takes it into his room. As Cynthia just kind of like looks at Deku. Remember, Cynthia and Deku are gonna be a chef from this, right? Alright. As Cynthia notices that Deku has a scratch, as Cynthia just says, Deku, stop walking for a minute. Deku just stops and says, what? And Cynthia just... Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I need to think this scene out. Okay. I think I have a vision in my head. Alright. Now, you're gonna have to imagine this. So, imagine Cynthia just walking up to Deku. And Cynthia just puts her hand on Deku's left cheek as it's got scratched. And I need you to imagine Deku a slight blush. And as Cynthia's slight blushing too. And Cynthia just says, you got hurt. What did you get into? As Deku just says, some kid from the school. And Deku just says that, and Cynthia and Deku just look at each other. They're looking at each other's eyes. And Deku just says, alright, can I go now? And Cynthia's just like, yeah. Alrighty. Okay, now this is where I'll be leaving off this whatever. But now, again, by the time you're seeing this, I'm probably already making a part 2. Ready? Well, that's it. Okay, now, I need you to ask a favor. Would you mind just liking the video? Possibly sharing? And even subscribing? And with that, I'm going to sign off. So, bye-bye.